Hi, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio, where I share art journaling and junk journaling projects and ideas. Welcome to the channel or welcome back. So a lot on the desk today, and in today's video I'm going to do a couple flip throughs of the May and June journal and the junk journal July journal. This one is the paper bag journal from May and June. Love doing this junk journal. I just needed to finish a little bit of writing and a little bit more on the cover. And then I have the junk journal July journal made out of scrap papers and envelopes. So I'll do a quick flip through of that one as well. Really enjoyed that. That's hosted by Meg at Meg Journals. So many collaborators, lots of fun prompts to do. And then finally, we are in the month of August. I have been kind of in vacation mode actually. So just getting to the August journal. This one I think is going to be a little bit different to work in, and I'm really excited. It is 3 folios glued together, and there's top loading pockets. So it's an 8 pocket journal when you count all the pockets, and I will show you how I put that together at the end of the video. Yeah, so having a lot of summer fun here, big piles on the desk. Really happy to finish up those journals, start the new ones. And then I have a little bit of a shout out to a couple channels that I enjoy, and yeah, I'm glad you're here. So let's get going. This is the paper bag journal, so simple to make. I did a little woodland scene, and my sister bought me these adorable bird stickers, so I added those. And there's a little bit of a band there that I'll tell you more about. That is from a purchase I made from Cat Hand's Etsy shop. When you open up the journal, there are my scrap papers. I kind of look at them as a visual journal too, of things that I like to play with. So I've been playing with watercolors lately, more of the gel pens, and the colors that I've been enjoying most, I think, in this journal are all these kind of citrus colors on the book text and pages. So again, this will be a very quick flip. I've sped it up a little bit if you can't already tell. But these are the May and June pages. I have these free printables in my Ko-fi app. I decided to play with zines in May. Again, the little bird stickers are popping in here. Love that. And this to me is one of my favorite loves of journaling, which is junk journal style. Upcycling, taking all the packaging, all the bits, but then also doing a little memory keeping. I love, here's a recipe on the side for this quinoa salad I tried. Here's the zine prototype. I guess technically I didn't do this in the traditional way a zine is made. I didn't do like the cutting and the folding. I just did the 4-page zine, which I think is actually called a quarto. Not sure. I think it is a quarto. So easy thing to do, and I put it in my Ko-fi app as a freebie if you wanted to kind of customize it and make it your own. Did a little bit with napkins. I have a video and a playlist on all of this, and then a kind of a little funky J there. Different ways to, again, do the zine. I love the illustrator Faith Ringgold. She just passed this spring. These birds are from Cat Hand's printables on her Ko-fi app. And then I love this. I love the Pantone postcards, and I think because I love to collage and I have a lot going on my pages, that sometimes that solid color that you can add with those Pantone postcards is really nice. Kind of break up the page a little. More book text and doodling. Lots of swatching and playing with all of the children's book images. Some top tags. I love that mushroom. And then finally, this is the back of the book. I did a little bit more journaling, doodling, kind of jammed it all in this cute little teacup. I have more in that pocket. Yeah, so lots of fun. 2 months of journaling in this paper bag journal. And then I have this little notebook to do more writing because I did a little bit of traveling in June. I love that cute little heart. No-sew journal tied together with some baker's twine and some scrappy ribbon. Easy and fun. I love a good journal structure that is so simple. Now these are the adorable bird stickers. Thank you, sis. And then this is the purchase I bought on Etsy from Cat Hand. I recently went on her celebration of her 10 years. 10 years, friends. That's amazing, of YouTube. She had a live, and during the live, she was giving away so many goodies, and she did have these little packets. She also had them for sale in her Etsy shop. And this is probably not the best representation overall because I couldn't help myself. I dug through all the goodies already, so it was so beautifully packed, and I have already gone through and played with a lot of these things. Look at this adorable little mini file folder. But as you can see, she has these little strips, magazine bits, and that one of them I used on the cover of, oops, I'm stuck here, let me fix this, of the paper bag journal. And all these wonderful goodies. So I really, congrats, Kat. I congratulate you on a wonderful channel, and what an amazing thing, a 10-year YouTube anniversary. I'm really excited to use these goodies as well. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? In the August journal. And here we go. The second flip through for Junk Journal July. Had a lot of fun with that. Meg at Meg Journals is the host. And then, as I said, if you check her out, she has all the links to the other channels that different channels do a video a day. There's a lot, but it's very inspiring. You can also catch her on Instagram and check out the hashtag Junk Journal July. And there's just so many ways that you can approach these prompts, but had a good time. Mostly envelopes, as I said, in this journal. A lot of playing with paints and stickers. I still had some old papers that I dyed and scrappy bits, book text. So there's a prompt for every single day, and I do have a playlist that I will link below for my Junk Journal July. That was a little mushroom that sort of appeared when I was looking at the way that the shapes were in the ink, and so I sketched that in. I love this paper. This is collage. Well, it can be collage paper. It's actually origami paper by Karen Elaine. More doodling. Oh, and this is the burlap I got from the Dollar Tree. Isn't that sweet? I have used that throughout the journal and also on the spine. More with Pantone postcards. And I think as of the last video, this is really where I left off. It was sort of the last 7 or 8 prompts, I think. So they had ephemeral, and I just did some lettering out of this world. But I think the cool thing about this is a postcard from NASA. So it literally is out of this world. Lots of scrappy bits here, some buttons, the contrast, the shade, poetic, celebration. And then I like to write down on an index card how I approach the prompts. So I did that there and tucked it into this little pocket, the celebration pocket. And then in the very back, I have another pocket with the Junk Journal July prompts. Oh, that little bit was tea dyed. I ended up using, actually, here we go, green tea. It's kind of a cool color to tea dye with in the back. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Junk Journal July 2024. check out the hashtag. You will get lots of inspiration. And I think for the closure, this is a little bit, let me get everything back in. This is, all of my journals are very full right now, so I think I'm gonna tie this up with a little bit of the sari silk. I'm really loving that. And I love these two colors, that rust and the deep purple. Just gonna give it a little twist for right now. Yay, 2 journals done. Finally finished the May and June and junk journal July. So moving on to August, I'm very excited about this new journal. I'm calling it a pocket journal. It does have 6 pockets, or like a folder sort of setup, and then 2 pockets that are from the top loading. So I'll show you that. But just before I do that, I have one more share and shout out. I've been following Gina, formerly the Rebookery at Stellar J Studios, and she had this 100-day project that didn't work out that I thought was just a great project, and she rebooted it, which I think is fabulous, into making these little booklets. She has science booklets. She's a former science teacher, and I love her creativity. She does layer upon layer of paint and fabrics. I just got mine started. Mine is made out of wrapping paper, and they're about 8 by 8. And what she does is kind of pull in a story or a little bit of a narrative. And I thought, I just want to give this a try and follow along. So again, I'll link Gina's channel below. And I ended up, first I thought I was going to do some booklets on what's in my backyard. And I ended up doing these 2 on freshwater and ocean water, just because the book pages that I used inspired me. And I do have some family that's by the ocean, and we're somewhat near freshwater. So anyways, I'm going to give that a go. More to come on that in the month of August as well. Okay, back to business. I am loving the new idea for August. And friends, this may take me right into September as well, because I tend to journal 2 or 3 times a week. So who knows? I've piled a lot of stuff per usual in this cute journal. It is 3 folios, and I'm going to make one today to show you. It's not a full tutorial, but it's so simple. You'll get the idea. And then I have stuffed them full of different ways, different cards that I can alter or doodle on or collage on. So I don't know. I'm just leaving it open that I can create in the way I want to create and still do a little bit of memory keeping. But I know myself as a journaler well, and I do better with a bit of a structure or goal. So I decided to kind of put an alphabet card in. In other words, as I journal in this journal, I think I'm going to kind of pick a letter and make a card that would go with that letter. So here I have August Aliens. Doodled up. And I don't know if I'm going to put any ribbons on that one. And I do have this one, Flower Power. I may mount that on something. So a bit of doodling there. And then I have these, I just love these colors of the Pantone postcards. Peridot, I know, is the August gem. Some ATCs. I've just put in the whole kit and caboodle, as they say. Yeah, who knows? This is another fun experiment. That card on the left is my journaling, my memory keeping so far. And then over here, I have a flashcard, some offcut of watercolor, another postcard, some scraps from the scrapbooking paper. So those are 2 pockets. And then in the middle 2 pockets, again, filled it with some tags. Those tags were from Kat's package. I have a time card, more postcards. And as you can see, here's one of the top loading pockets, because the way you glue it together, you can leave those open. This again was from Kat's package. Isn't that a great card? Yeah, so this is the August pocket journal. So let's get started on how to make one of the folios, and once you make one, you'll be able to see how easily to put it together. This is not a full tutorial, but it's pretty simple. I think you'll get the idea, and if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments below. I like the idea of these 3 folios glued together. I used a little Fabri-Tac, but when I glued them together, I did it this way. In other words, so there would be room left for a pocket. I did the 2 sides and the bottom only and left the top open, if that makes sense. I used 3 pieces of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. Now you can decide if it's double-sided or single-sided. If it's double-sided, it's a little bit easier because you don't have any white space to deal with, but I'll show you that in a minute. This scrapbook paper came individually, and again, my sweet sister bought it for me. So it's a little bit shorter than, I think by like 3/16 of an inch than the 12 by 12 scrapbook paper for the one that I made for my August journal. But when you take 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, here's a single-sided, fold it in half, and then fold your 1/2 in half, so you've quartered it. And then we're going to remove a quarter of it. I'm going to tear, but you can cut it nice and neat because I'm going to scallop my edge. So it's not going to matter that I just tore it. I'm going to give it a little curvy edge here. And already you can see we have one folio in the making. Now it is white, so you can decorate that any way you want, or you could take your quarter piece and just glue over it. So that's up to you. Again, I used double-sided, so that wasn't an issue for my August journal. And then, yeah, you make 3 of those. And again, by gluing them together, sides, bottom, and not the top, you end up having 8 pockets, 2 in each of the folios, about a 1-inch spine. And then you can top load, you get a couple top load pockets. Now I have a very neat, awesome, neat folding tip for you. I went to a book arts class with a friend, fabulous class, and one of the tips that came up is to center your spine by using this folding method. So I'm going to use a handy dandy pencil as my measuring tool. It's about a 1/4 of an inch. You can use a real ruler, but this was easy. I tend to go for easy. And I am folding, I'm using that pencil as my mark for that little gap on the top and then folding. And I'm going to do the same thing the other direction. So I have the same amount of spacing. And this, friends, is how I'm creating my spine in the center. I don't know. To me, it was magic. Maybe you've seen this before. And fold that. So again, my handy pencil measuring tool. And look, you have a nice, that's about a 1/4 inch centered spine. Isn't that wonderful? I loved it. So I'm going to go, and if you have a bone folder, that's great. If you have the back of your scissors, that's great. Crease these a little bit, and there you go. That is the folio. It's what? I don't know if it's about 5 3/4-ish by 6. So almost a square. And then all I did was on the edge of the folds for the pocket, put a little bit of Fabri-Tac, and that's it. So I could add a 4th right here if I wanted to. Again, not gluing the top or the whole thing, but doing it like a pocket. There, there, and there. And there's your top loading pocket. So simple. I could add a fourth one if I wanted. Depends how big you want to make it. And with all the cards, I have to say this has a nice weight to it. And this is showing you the top loading little bit of a manila folder there. And it's as easy as that. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that gives you some ideas. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. Happy to take any questions. Love to hear what you are enjoying in your journals. Here's a bit of a close-up of the pockets. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next video.